What else is lit, Tom, is how hot some coaches' hot seats are right now.
That's not a good thing, though.
No.
That's not a good thing. That's strike 2.5.
All has to do with fire. Let's move on to the coaches on the hot seat. Let's start with number 5. Tom, you have John Fox. Why?
First off, congrats to Todd Bowles. He's not on the hot seat yet. I thought for sure he would be very much here because the Jets are the Jets. Look, I don't mind John Fox, but the Bears are 2-4. With Trubisky as the quarterback, I don't know how much they're actually going to be able to do to win a bunch of games. And at that point, the front office might decide, look, sorry, John, thanks for holding us over, but we're going to go get somebody else. So 2-4 right now for the Bears. I'd be concerned if I was John Fox. Some other teams like the Niners and the Chargers, they're not going to fire their coach 1 year in. There's no way.
I've always had not a boundary, so what I'm looking for here. I've always had a rule when it comes to which coaches I want fired. Will you find, I know this is like an obvious thing, is there a better free agent head coach than the one you currently have? You can't just fire a coach. Don't just fire a coach because they're bad. You have to only fire them if there's a better coach available. There is a lot of better ones available than John Fox.
Or if he's lost the team. That's the other time you do it. At that point, no matter what, you got to do it.
That's fair.
It's your Giants.
That's all right. Moving on to number 4 here. Tom, you have Chuck Pagano. I have to disagree with you on this one. I don't think Chuck Pagano should be fired. He should have been fired last year.
I'm not arguing that he should or shouldn't be fired.
Okay.
I'm arguing that he's in shape to be fired.
Okay.
Because Jim Irsay has constantly tried to fire Pagano in the past couple years. Chris Ballard is the new GM.
Love Chris Ballard.
Means new coaches often.
Big time fan.
Fair or not, the Colts are going to suck without Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
That's not really totally Chuck's fault, but after it's been years of will they, won't they with Pagano and the Colts of whether or not they'll fire him. So at that point, I think it's just going to happen at some point. And I think that's unfortunate for Pagano. The Colts almost did it last year. If they don't make the playoffs again, or even worse, if they finish last in the AFC South, which is looking more and more likely, at that point, bye-bye.
I think that Chuck Pagano should have been fired last season.
Yeah.
I'm a big Chris Ballard fan. I think you're right that they probably are looking for a new head coach. Big fan of his. But I will say this. The fact that this team has any wins right now is I think, credit to Chuck Pagano for getting this team ready without their all-world quarterback and being able to win games. I think he deserves a little credit.
It's a little bit of credit, but they're also by a combined 6 points of those wins over the Browns and the Niners.
Hey, wins are wins.
Not all wins are created equal, Harris. Some are created more equal than others.
And especially when we're talking about QB wins with a bunch of Z's. All right, moving on to number 3, coach on the hot seat. I'm kind of surprised he's only number 3, Ben McAdoo.
Well, he won last week, so boom, he goes up.
Good for you, Ben McAdoo. Tom?
I'm not, look, they beat Denver, so maybe he hasn't lost the team, but I totally thought he was going to lose the team. But I thought he had lost the team.
Tom, this falls under my criteria of is there a better head coaching candidate out there for the Giants?
Yes.
The answer is yes, and that answer is Josh McDaniels.
Didn't like the promotion anyway.
McDaniels.
I'm waiting for McDaniels to get a job.
Because look, he's waiting for the right one. He's waiting for Green Bay. He wanted the New York Giants. He's waiting for a big market team. He doesn't want to go to like the Jaguars.
Just don't let him be the GM.
No. When the Giants were looking for a new head coach, I was like, all right, how about you give Josh McDaniels an aging quarterback, which we know he's done wonders with. I know it's not Tom Brady, but he obviously knows how to deal with aging QBs. Give him Odell Beckham Jr., give him Sterling Shepard, give him a reworkable offensive line, and let him do his magic.
McAdoo's done a bad job on offense. He's done a bad job on offense.
Awful.
That was a weird hire from the start. I know that they were trying to keep some type of continuity there. And they probably should have just restarted.
Hashtag not great.
The staff.
Speaking of needing to restart, probably the most fireable head coach for the past decade. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Marvin Lewis on the Bengals. Tom, how is he still the head coach?
The half joking, half not conspiracy theory within Cincinnati.
What?
He has compromising photos of owner Mike Brown. Like that he's got some kind of dirt on Mike Brown, and that's why he hasn't been fired yet.
That would not surprise me.
Like half joking, but also like not totally joking because no one understands why. He just has some kind of leverage over Mike Brown.
It kind of confuses me.
And I'm actually kind of concerned that both producer Lena and Harris are nodding their heads like, yeah, I can totally see that. Like that's supposed to be a joke.
Think about it.
And the fact that it's not to you guys, concerns me.
When you keep a head coach, you can at least establish, a couple of reasons as to why they're kept. Hugh Jackson had it last season. It was 1 year. The players really like him. A couple.
Well,
I can't think of
the reason
one for Marvin Lewis.
I can think of two actual non-conspiracy theory reasons. One, the players do like him a lot. And two, Mike Brown's a cheapskate. So he's like, oh, well, we're fine. We're making money overall. You know, Marvin Lewis, he's fine. Why fire him and pay out his contract and then go hire somebody else? But now, contract's up with no extension yet.
I like the
So now Mike Brown doesn't have to pay.
Maybe he will bring back the former Cincinnati Bengals offensive coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, number one on the list is Hugh Jackson.
You joke, but that's
I don't joke.
But that's an actual outcome, I think.
You might think I kid. I do not kid.
Mike Brown loves Hugh Jackson.
I would.
And the Bengals wanted Hugh to wait another year as the OC, take over for Marvin, and Marvin became the GM. That didn't end up happening. But if and when Hugh Jackson is fired, don't be surprised if he ends up back in Cincinnati in some other capacity, be it as a coordinator or a coach, a position coach. With that said, Hugh Jackson, I've always been a fan. I like what he did in Oakland. I believed him entering Cleveland. He has done a horrifically bad job. Like, I know the Browns are rebuilding. There's not a ton of talent. You could not have handled the quarterback spot any worse this year.
Like, you draft him.
It's been so bad.
You draft him, you then trade for Brock Osweiler. You give the starting job to DeShone Kizer anyway. Bench him after 5 weeks for him being bad, even though you knew he was going to be bad because everyone in their right mind knew he wasn't ready to start.
He needed time, and if you're going to start him, that's okay. Like, you can let him learn through the growing period, which I get because you're going to be a bad team anyway. You should probably see if he can be your starter. But to bench him, this is a quarterback that we knew coming out of Notre Dame didn't always get along with head coach Brian Kelly because Brian Kelly kept benching him for no reason. So now Hugh Jackson does the exact same thing to play Kevin friggin' Hogan, who's garbage. I just don't get it. It made no sense at the time.
And by the way, this is a guy.
And you put him back in.
Look, regardless of how good Deshaun Watson's playing right now, my thought process has always been that DeShone Kizer has the highest ceiling of any quarterback that was drafted this year.
Yes.
He needs help, though, to reach that ceiling.
He is who he is.
Hella raw.
Like,
hella raw.
He holds the ball too long. He makes mistakes, but he has a great arm. He loves going deep downfield. So now, like, the way the Browns have used him of like, oh, just throw it 40 times a game. Like, run the ball. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Anyway. That doesn't make any sense.
Let's take a look at our summary here of our coaches on the hot seat. Number 5, John Fox. Number 4, Chuck Pagano. Number 3, Ben McAdoo. Number 2, Marvin Lewis. And number 1, Hugh Jackson. Tom, any more comments before we move on?
I wouldn't be surprised if all 5 of these guys got fired.
I think that,
and maybe Todd Bowles. If the Jets fall apart, like I think
I would
that
not
they will.
If the Colts go 8-8 or they go 7-9, whatever, I would not be surprised if Chuck Pagano keeps his job.
We'll see.
We'll see.